UK athlete Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone took home Olympic gold yesterday while also breaking her own world record in the 400-meter hurdles.
And now her big win is sparking young athletes with excitement. WKYT's Carly Hogston shows us how some Kentucky high school runners are inspired by McLaughlin. Our story that's new at 6.
Every athlete strives for victory, and Sydney McLaughlin has made a habit of that during her time as a UK Wildcats and yesterday during the 2024 Paris Olympics. And now her gold medal is inspiring young women from her college state like Jordan Connor McCord, who dreams of achieving the same heights one day.
I think that definitely shows me that someone that's came from where I'm from, that I most likely have a chance to do the same as them.
Connor McCord has a head start on joining the big stage, as after running for half her life, she was able to qualify for the Junior Olympics in North Carolina last week. She says running is her passion that drives her in all aspects of life.
It kind of shows me that I'm capable of doing different things, and that whenever I have something that I need to do, I have the confidence to do so.
She follows after her mother, Lanisha Connor, who was a UK alum and now coaches Jordan on the Lexington Striders. Lanisha says that the Olympics connection to her home brings her daughter and other runners hope.
Our kids being able to watch these phenomenal people use their talents and their gifts has already set a precedent for our kids.
Along their side is another UK alum and assistant coach to the team, Siobhan Threat, who believes this year's Olympic wins empower all young girls.
You know, from Simone to Sydney to Ledecky to Asia, everyone's watching how well our female athletes are doing. It's right here in our backyard.
In Lexington, Carly Hogston, WKYT.
Lexington Striders will open an application process in the fall for any runners interested in joining the program.